So, okay, let's get started. Björn Strid, welcome to the Rockin' Roundtable.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thank you. We just saw you for the first time at Sweden Rock Festival, June 4th, 2025.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing set. And I heard that you just came back from Australia.
Yeah.
And you're
yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, pretty jet lagged, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm pretty jet lagged, but doing okay considering. Yeah, it was a good time. Yesterday I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to pull this off. But then I woke up this morning, had a good sleep, and felt pretty good. And I think we did pretty good considering.
Oh, you did amazing. Yeah, we were super impressed. And like I said, we haven't seen you before, so we were like very excited. You're one of the top bands on the bucket list for us to see live. And I've been following you for many years actually. Even before I moved to the US, because I moved 2013. So I know you guys been around, and I know you have SOILWORK, and Charlie has Arch Enemy. So how do you combine these, schedules, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, that's not always easy, obviously, being in these bands, and we try to keep the touring cycles and album cycles separate as much as we can. And then it felt like we had it down right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then after that it was like, okay, we need to get both of the bands out there right now. It's like, okay, so that was all. So it's been quite messy ever since then, but we're slowly getting into some kind of like a separated schedule, but it needs to be in sync, and obviously we have a fairly new album out, and with Night Flight Orchestra that was released in the end of January. So this is kind of like a touring year for Night Flight, and it's a writing year for SOILWORK.
Okay.
So we try to separate it, and somewhere in between both me and Rasmus is playing guitar in Night Flight and bass in SOILWORK. Somewhere around there we need to rest as well, which is, it's quite a task. But I also feel very grateful that I can switch between two different genres, and two quite established bands. It's I guess it's quite unique in that sense.
It is, right?
So you mentioned genre though. How like SOILWORK, obviously it's the metal sounds, but Night Flight, it's like unique. It's 70. How would you describe it? Like 70s disco metal, or what?
Yeah, I don't think there's metal in there at all. I mean, it's like I feel it's it's like rock. It's like a lost rock pop tradition from the late 70s, early 80s that somewhere got lost, where you can somewhere sort of move between different genres on the same album, and it's kind of a very free expression, and in that sense, coming from the metal world where you sometimes feel a little bit limited, even though I'm really proud that SOILWORK has really evolved and developed a sound that's quite unique through the years, and that's not easy to do. But being the Night Flight Orchestra, it's like this open field. You can do whatever you want, and then that doesn't always mean that it's going to turn out into something great, but it's like normally it does, at least in our heads. It does.
Was it you that the mastermind behind it, or like a collab?
Yeah, I mean, it was me and David, who's no longer with us. He passed away, almost 3 years ago, and we started the band, and we wanted to create a soundtrack of being on tour. Because we bonded so much over 70s and 80s music while being on a metal tour. We're sitting in the back lounge of a tour bus, and we're just looking out the window and listening to, I don't know, Stevie Nicks and Steve Miller Band and Alan Parsons Project and Journey, Boston, Foreigner, whatever, all over the place, really, and ABBA. And it's like, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world, being emotional, listening to this kind of music, and that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted to capture with this band, to create our own soundtrack of being emotion and something quite dreamy. And
because it is incredibly unique.
Yes.
I mean, there's no one who plays. As far as I know, I mean, you have all these, influences, right? But you have still created your own type of sound, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to do, and I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel, obviously, but I'd like to think that we have a fairly unique take on a songwriting tradition.
Yeah.
That's been lost, you know, and I feel that our expression is fairly unique.
Yeah.
And that we can tap into places where bands, you know, claiming they're in the AOR or melodic rock genre don't really go to, you know.
Yeah. No, I get it. And because, I mean, Journey and Boston, obviously, and Styx are, you know, big bands, in my opinion, that I absolutely love. But I feel like you guys have taken it to another level, including the funk and disco element into
we're no strangers to anything I was going to say, but
Right. No, and just I want to mention one thing that is really interesting and funny. So we did a couple of reactions for Lady Gaga.
But the first one was just to Mayhem, her new album, because everybody was doing, let's just review this. We never heard it.
And one of the songs we're like, this just reminds us of Night Flight Orchestra in a way. Okay. And then a lot of our subscribers like, holy shit, I looked it up, the band you mentioned, and they're amazing. I listened more to the new Night Flight Orchestra album than I listened to Lady Gaga.
Yeah, they're considered little monsters, but they're all fans of you guys because and we have had over 50,000 views on that video.
That's
that we mentioned you guys.
That's great.
They're all commenting. Okay, we can't stop listening to that. I'm like,
that's very cool.
That's what we want, like spread the music.
It's very cool.
Yeah, and I have a feeling if Lady Gaga actually, you know, picked up some of her music, she would have liked it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I really dig her, and you can tell that she knows her classic rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think she's a rocker at heart. So like we all are, and you know, for me, you know, growing up in Västerås, Sweden.
Yeah.
I was, you know, before all the kind of more, well, obviously I listened to Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, but I was a big fan of Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
And I hear, you know, you vocally reminds me of Jim Pedrick and those type of guys.
Yeah.
You know, even though, I love your ground and SOILWORK as well. But,
well, this is something different.
It's way,
fun.
Yeah, it's so different. Yeah. No, I mean, it's so exciting. And like I said, the fact that you were one of the reasons why we decided to come here. That when you were announced to Sweden Rock Festival, it's like, we have to go.
Right.
We're going.
We're going. This is going to be perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming.
No, it's exciting. So, about the band, I mean, I know, my condolences, but David, incredibly sad. Is it the drummer who is still one of the originals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jonas,
Yeah. And then you have added, and also the two.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have the original lineup. It's Charlie, it's Jonas, it's and Sebastian as well. It came in shortly after.
Oh yeah, got it. Yeah.
He's always been our producer as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Charlie, I think he gets the chance to play more bass lines.
Yeah, like more. It's like more adventure bass.
Yeah, Because that's what I really love. When I first heard it, I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. Because I used to be a bass player. Well, I still am, but not professionally.
Right.
But the way he plays the bass is just adding, enhancing the songs.
It's a fantastic instrument. I love playing bass. You know, when I write songs, I think it's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love it, you know, because it
so
starts with either keyboards or guitars, and then building the bass around that. It's like there's something so special about that.
Yeah.
In this type of genre of music, it can really shine.
Yes.
Yeah. It's important. I don't think you could do any kind of that genre without a bass.
Yeah, because you think about the disco elements.
Exactly, and I mean that's why we love. I mean, even if it was not, you know, it was, you know, we love our Donna Summer or whatever, you know, in the late 70s and even early 80s, rock and music overall was very infused by the disco rhythm section, kind of like with the bass and the drums, and very tight and kind of still very adventurous. Yeah, I love that element in music, you know, and I think that's another.
I agree.
We like to.
No, it's very interesting because I mean, me playing bass as a young man, and I'm an old man, just trying to figure out these bass lines.
Yeah.
Because I'm like in the beginning, I was just following the chords, right? But it's just yeah, like you said, it's just the enhancements. It's just
it's
amazing.
so much fun.
Yeah,
that is.
It really is cool.
Yeah.
So what about the plans now? You have the new album out. You just came back from Australia.
Yeah.
Will you ever tour North America?
It's gonna happen at some point, but it's been so hard to get over there. Obviously, it's a matter of budget. Applying for a visa, the costs have tripled. Same for costs for tour buses, whatever. Yeah, it's insane. It's really tough, and especially for. I mean, this is not a new band, but coming over to North America, we have a fairly big following, but we still don't know what to expect coming over there. Right. But it starts with visa costs, and then what if we, if they don't accept our applications, we still have to pay.
Yeah,
that's not even.
We heard about that.
Yeah, it's insane. All of it. It's like, so how do you deal with that? We don't have a humongous budget. It's been really tough. But it's definitely something that we want to do and we need to do because there's a quite a following.
Yeah.
We can tell. So we're just really trying to make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, making the investment for a visa, what could be like $10,000, and then you get denied. Then
I know, and then even if you get approved and you get there, and we've heard so many horror stories too, like bands and artists getting stuck at the border or whatever, immigration and not. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't even know. Don't get me started.
Yeah, it's been crazy because we talked to some friends about Prog Power, and there are multiple bands that had to cancel Prog Power because of the visa. And I mean, I guess one way to do the cruises, because that's international water.
Exactly. It's cruises, but obviously you want to do a proper tour as well. So it's like it's a shame that it has to be that damn difficult.
Yeah. One last question before we end. I know you have time here. So when I grew up, my first big concert was Dio in Stockholm with Queensryche opening.
Amazing.
What's your first big concert from
a big concert? I mean, I was growing up being quite like an extreme metal kid.
Yeah.
And I love that still. And I mean, one of my first shows was Carcass in 1994.
Oh.
On the Heartwork album.
Oh shit. Was Michael playing then?
No. I think he left right before that.
Okay.
So
that's a good.
But then I got to know Michael right after that. He was working in a record store in Helsingborg, and he actually got us signed with SOILWORK in the first place. So.
Oh, really?
Yes. So there's definitely a connection.
It's a small world, right?
I know. Yeah. It's fantastic. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, any last question from you?
So I just also want to say, just listening to your music, watching you guys today, it just really takes you on this time capsule. It transforms you like you're dreaming, I feel like I'm, a teen in the 70s again or something. It's in a really good way, and everybody's so happy. The vibe and the background singers. I mean,
they're great.
So everything just.
Yeah. I had tears in my eyes, I have to admit, and it was
amazing.
That was so amazing, and we're so grateful. Thank you, Björn.
Thank you
for your time, and hope to see you around. Are you gonna stay at the festival or?
No, I'm staying until Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fucking collapse.
I know. You need some sleep.
That's as long as I can go, I think. But no, it's gonna be good.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay.